Hi everyone, my name is Sam, and this is Today in History. Today is Thursday, November the 7th, the 312th day of 2024. There are 54 days left in the year. On this day in 1811, in the Battle of Tippecanoe, a seasoned U.S. expeditionary force under Major General William Henry Harris defeated Shawnee Indians led by Tecumseh's brother, Laulewasika, known as the Prophet. On this day in 1837, abolitionist newspaper editor Elijah P. Lovejoy was murdered by a mob in Alton, Illinois, while defending his press building. On this day in 1874, Harper's Weekly featured a Thomas Nast cartoon about the possibility of U.S. President Ulysses S. Grant seeking a third term, and the Republican vote was represented by an elephant, which appeared in several other Republican-related cartoons by Nast, eventually becoming the party's official logo. On this day in 1913, French author Albert Camus, who received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1957 for such classic works as The Stranger, published in 1942, was born. On this day in 1916, Jeannette Rankin won a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives, becoming the first woman elected to Congress. On this day in 1917, the October Revolution, named after the dates of this event in the Julian calendar, the last phase of the Russian Revolution of 1917, ended as the Bolshevik Party seized power in Russia, inaugurating the Soviet regime. On this day in 1940, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, connecting the Olympic Peninsula with Tacoma, Washington, broke up in a wind of about 42 miles per hour, or 67 kilometers. On this day in 1944, Franklin D. Roosevelt defeated Thomas E. Dewey and was elected to an unprecedented fourth term as President of the United States. On this day in 1962, Eleanor Roosevelt, who was the First Lady of the United States and one of the world's most widely admired and powerful women, known as a diplomat and a humanitarian, died in New York City at the age of 78. Also on this day in 1962, after losing the governor's election in California, American politician Richard Nixon gave what he called his last press conference, telling reporters that you won't have Nixon to kick around anymore. He was elected president 6 years later. On this day in 1967, American lawyer and politician Carl Stokes was elected mayor of Cleveland, Ohio, becoming the first African American to lead a major U.S. city. On this day in 1980, American movie star Steve McQueen, known for his portrayal of macho loners in such films as The Great Escape, released in 1963, and Bullet, released in 1968, died at the age of 50. That was young. On this day in 1989, American politician Douglas Wilder was elected governor of Virginia, becoming the first African American to win a U.S. gubernatorial election. On this day in 1991, American professional basketball player Magic Johnson announced that he was HIV positive and was immediately retiring from the sport. He later played part of the 1995 and 1996 season. If I'm correct, Magic Johnson is no longer HIV positive. How did that happen? On this day in 1996, NASA launched Mars Orbital Surveyor, a robotic spacecraft designed to carry out a long-term study of the planet. Contact with the spacecraft was lost in 2006. On this day in 2000, American politician Hillary Clinton was elected to the U.S. Senate, becoming the first First Lady to win elective office. Also on this day in 2000, the U.S. presidential election ended in a strategic tie between Democrat Al Gore and Republican George W. Bush, only to be settled on December the 12th by the U.S. Supreme Court after a bitter legal dispute. Was that election stolen? Who knows? On this day in 2016, Canadian musician Leonard Cohen, a hugely influential singer and songwriter known for spare songs that carried an existential bite, died at the age of 82. On this day in 2016, American lawyer and public official Janet Reno, who is the first female attorney general from 1993 to 2001 of the United States, died at the age of 78. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Today is Thursday, November the 7th, the 312th day of 2024. There are 54 days left in the year.